Hello and welcome to my presentation of reflection on 10 out of 27 webinars presented by teachers, trainers and researchers from 18 different countries. This conference is the 8th annual event organized by Dr. Nelly Deutsch. Nelly is internationally recognized leader of online education. She coaches teachers and administrators on how to teach and with Moodle courses and Moodle sites. She is internationally known as a mentor to educators and researchers focusing on online instructional design. She is author, speaker, community builder, instructional designer and facilitator of fully online and blended learning programs using Moodle and Mosaic. She is the founder of Moodle for Teacher website that focus on teaching as a way to learn. Nelly organizes MOOCs, free online conferences, webinars and courses for educators around the world. This free online conference is organized by Nelly on her website Moodle for Teachers. Nelly provided here the opportunity not just to learn about new tools which are part of online teaching and learning, but also we consider it as a highly professional Moodle teacher and online instructor. She provided all participants with a chance to try new online tools. We tried to use Visaiku, Podal, Flipgrid. She encouraged us to reflect on webinars, and she provided all these tools and explained how to use them, gave many practical advices, and actually she taught us how to use these new tools. I consider my participation in this conference as a very intensive workshop on how to learn a new online teacher tools. These tools include many different Web2 tools which we learn during the conference. This conference is really a unique maker session where teachers from around the world come together to learn and share their experiences in using technology for learning and teaching. People from 18 different countries introduced themselves and responded to each other during the conference. They presented their thoughts related to online teaching and learning. And I was lucky I could make to be online at this time to feel the atmosphere of the conference. Full program recordings are available on Google Drive, and everyone can watch this presentation and also can submit their reflections. I participated during the conference in many webinars and I found them very interesting and informative. I enjoyed the speech of many presenters and online conversation during the conference. I met people who are interested in the use of technology in teaching and learning and who are happy to share and learn together. I have chosen 10 of them of these webinars, 27 webinars, which are relevant to my area of interest, and I will shortly describe and try to answer in accordance with reflective writing template. For each webinar, I will provide brief description of presentation, connection with other attendees and speakers, questions which come up and when I watch the event, how the content relate to me as a teacher and learner, how I felt while watching and chatting online, what I am going to do after watching these webinars and learning new information, what challenges might I found in implementing some of these ideas, and steps can be taken to resolve these challenges, and what I would like to do in the future as a result of what I heard, read and saw, and also questions which I would like to research as a result of this event. Here is a list of 10 selected webinars I took part in and participated in discussion during these webinars. First webinar, Friday, February 3, session number 4. Janet Salmons. She is independent researcher, writer and consultant through Vision to Lead. She is specialized in online interviews in real time. She presented Learning to Research, Researching to Learn. Second webinar, Saturday, February 4, session 1, Sibel Tasking. She discussed online and free tools to enhance vocabulary learning. She is English teacher. Next webinar, number 3, Saturday session, Kickstarting Learning, Language Learning. This topic was presented by Professor Charles Goodger, and he is a writer, teacher, trainer and musician. Next webinar, number 4, presented by Dr. Ebba Assinilson. She is a researcher and e-learning expert. She presented topic Leadership in Digital Educational and Learning Context. Next webinar, Saturday session number 7, Writing Groups. This topic was presented by Mali Schimarelli. She actually was talking about how it is important in order to learn, to have someone else comments on your own work. Next one, webinar number 6. This webinar was presented by Dr. Lyudmila Smirnova. She is widely known for her leadership in applying emerging internet technologies to instruction. She is a key designer of Moodle for Teacher workshops at Nelly's website, IT for All, Instructional Teaching for All. She conducted collaborative project globally. Next webinar, number 7, Sunday, 5th of February, first session. Navy Stories and Tom Hodgers. They presented teamwork collaboration for online. Navis is a teacher of English as a foreign language, English drama, business English and English exam preparation. Currently, she is teaching online via interactive learning platform for business English courses and language tutoring. Tom Hodgers is a retired scientist. He is a chief coordinator of MOOCs. He designed Moodle classes and he is teaching online. Next webinar, Sunday session number 2, presented by Rob Howard. His topic was Present Perfectly. Rob is owner of Online Language Center and live online courses for students who are specializing in business, legal and academic English. He is a teacher, tutor, trainer, material designer, blogger and writer for English as a foreign language. Next webinar number 9, Sunday 5th of February, session number 3. This webinar was conducted by Julia Kosmas. Her topic was pattern on exploring your own material. She is the founder of HAT ELT that provides resources and support for children who cannot access education. Julia is also a regular speaker at international conferences and visiting lecturer at University of Brighton. And last webinar number 10, Sunday session number 4, Parmidenta Nita Chaudhuri. She discussed challenges involved in teaching and learning online. Parmidenta is a lecturer in food production and food science and nutrition with over 20 years experience of teaching. In her presentation, she tried to answer many questions. Next slides will present most interesting print screens from each webinar. First webinar I attended and participated in discussion is Learning to Research, Research to Learn. Dr. Janet Salmons presented her point of view how can we teach students to be inquisitive, whether or not students are preparing to conduct empirical, most likely educational research. What are experiential research activities? She explained how to develop research activities for online classes. On this print screen, on next print screen, we will see how many stages are involved in conduction of empirical research and its complicated interconnections. Janet is an independent researcher, writer, and consultant through Vision to Lead. On this slide, we can see Janet's point of view, or actually view, how does she view all stages which are involved in educational research. In her presentation, she looked at stages of creating learning activities also that allow students to acquire subject matter knowledge for the class for teaching, as well as develop the inquiry skills that will help them develop research orientation. She explained how students develop their understanding and what to do for students to develop their understanding of research matter. She looked at stages of creating learning activities that allow students to acquire subject matter knowledge. She proposed to structure assignments and team projects using these research stages as a framework. This is next webinar which I attended and found it extremely interesting. I connected with speaker and other attendees via chatting room. Sibyl discussed online free tools to enhance vocabulary learning. In her session, she looked at various tools and applications to help learners study, participate, and revise vocabulary. On this slide, Sibyl shared with participants during the webinar the classroom sample. She presented a tool, DIVII English Video Dictionary. She shared how does she use it with her students. And this is a feedback from her students. Her students were very happy. What are the most interesting feature of this tool? Sibyl actually provided a link, and from this link we can learn more about these tools. This is a slide from next webinar presented by Professor Charles Goodger. Professor Goodger is a writer and teacher and trainer and also a musician. He is a language expert with indefinite ideas how to teach students using music. He demonstrated in his webinar a new teaching module with a specifically written language learning action songs. He also showed how to do interpretation of his teaching module to reach learners, and actually he taught many students using his songs written especially for his students. Next webinar was presented by Dr. Eva Asianilisson. She is a leader in digital educational and learning context. She presented her discussion about leadership in digital educational she discussed very important topic about leadership in the changing learning landscape. She has talking about the fourth industrial revolution. Showing us next slide. Actually, she was talking about the fourth industrial revolution, what it means for education, what are the gaps in assessment, teaching and leadership. During the webinar, Eba raised many questions about fundamental changes in education. Eba also discussed questions about how the fourth industrial revolution affected and or impacted and impact on business, organizations, people and the whole education system. And next webinar number 5 which I attended, it was webinar about writing groups in language teaching presented by Malu Simarelli. She demonstrated that in order to learn, it is vital to have someone else who can comment on your own work. Research confirmed that writing in groups offer a great way for students to get feedback from their peers. In her webinar, Malu looked at how we can set up writing groups with our students and how it can help them to develop motivation to learn. In her presentation, she emphasized that for teachers it is important to provide their students with meaningful feedback. And this feedback must be positive to encourage students to reach their full potential. I think that creating writing groups in class is a useful activity for students because they can share their ideas and learn more from each other. During the presentation, I connected with other attendees and with the speaker via Classroom. At the end of her webinar, she provided actually a link to a very interesting article relating to writing groups in language learning. The next session, which I was not able to attend, but I watched recordings, that is a webinar presented by Dr. Lyudmila Smirnova. She was talking about actually not talking and showing and explaining, and she shared her project, and her webinar she titled Empowering Teachers Training through Engaging Teacher Candidates in Global Digital Projects. Lyudmila Smirnova is widely known for her leadership in applying emerging internet technologies to instruction. She is a key designer of Moodle for Teachers workshops at integrating technology for all. She conducted collaborative projects globally. She teaches courses in curricula planning, methods of teaching, and teaching with technology. Lyudmila is a professor of education at Mount St. Mary College in Newburgh, New Jersey. She teaches courses in curriculum planning with technology. She is a certified smart board trainer. Previously, she was professor of education at Volgograd State Pedagogical University in Russia, where she also served as a dean of the School of Foreign Language. She also supervises master's and PhD students in linguistics and pedagogy. Her publications include books, chapters, papers, and conference presentations. In her webinar, she presented her practical work and discussed about empowering teacher training through engaging teacher candidates in global digital projects. In next slides, we can see some samples of print screens from her international projects, and during the webinar she explained how did she conduct this project, what students were involved, how did she find interesting activities activities, and how did she encourage students to learn and construct their knowledge. This is project homepage, where many students from different countries are involved, and we can see the students on this picture. In one international project, she connected classrooms where students were doing a global project. Students from 3 different countries, America and Ukraine, took part in discussion forums, created pictures, videos, and posted assignments. Ludmila used different online software to organize international classrooms. She used VoiceRead, where students recorded their presentations and shared with each other. She gave her students the opportunity to learn so much about other people and other cultures. That is actually an example how online teacher teaches her students how to use new technology with technology. Very interesting topic she set up to explore for her students. She asked her students to compare, to find, to learn about Russian and American values. And this screen shows one page from this project. And Ludmila actually did not talk about teaching techniques or how did she manage classes. She just designed so interesting international project combining classrooms from different countries and provided online learning environment where students built and constructed their knowledge with the use of technology. During this project, students definitely learn how to use technology, educational technology. At the end of this project, students were required to write their feedback or reflection and organize all their reflections in blogs or maybe even using other software. And on this screen, we can see how students were very happy, and their reflections we can find on these links where Ludmila presented. And in her webinar, Ludmila showed how to facilitate online environment which has its own sets of characteristics and challenges. Students' responses were great. She shared her experience in teaching in fully online learning environment, and her students from different countries were happy to do all online project, where they learn by doing, using technology and learning with technology. They constructed their knowledge of subject, communicating online with their teacher and with each other. Students' feedback was just great. Students from USA learned about Ukrainian education system, and Ukrainian students found a lot of information about life in America. All students were very excited and very happy, and they will remember these classes forever. Next webinar presented by Nevis Stories and Tom Hodgers. Nevis is a teacher of English as a foreign language, English drama, business English and English exam preparation specialist. Tom is a retired scientist and he is a chief coordinator of MOOCs. He designed Moodle classes and he is teaching with Moodle for a long time. In their webinar, they looked at ways to understand the mechanics of online collaboration with teaching staff working in teams. They use Google Docs, Moodle, virtual meeting software such as Zoom, Conjure, and Skype. This Sunday session was presented by Rob Howard. Rob is owner of Online Language Center. a live online course for students specializing in business, legal English and academic English. He is a teacher, tutor, trainer, material designer, blogger and writer for English as a foreign language. He named his presentation Present Perfectly. Yes, it's an interesting topic, and there are a lot of questions and a lot of information about how to present information for students, and what are principles of information design. This webinar was named Express and Exploit Yourself. Actually, Julia will discuss about pattern on exploring your own material. Julia is a founder of Heart ELT, that is organization that provides resources and supports children who cannot access education. Julia is also a regular speaker at international conferences and a visiting lecturer at the University of Brighton. In her presentation, Julia emphasized that it is very important to have only positive expectations. And last webinar I choose for reflection, titled Challenges Involved in Teaching and Learning Online. This webinar was presented by Perminda Mita Cloud-Huri. She is a lecturer in food production and food science and nutrition, and she has teaching experience for more than 20 years. She taught in junior and senior schools. She is passionate about learning and teaching with technology. In her presentation, she tried to answer the questions related to online education, such as how much more or less effort an educator has to undertake to making online teaching a success. What the global learning community think about the challenges involved in online teaching and learning. All these questions which she raised related to challenges of online teaching and learning are very interesting, and it's not easy to answer, and research actually. And last webinar with very interesting title, Challenges Involved in Teaching and Learning Online. This webinar was conducted by Perminda Mita Cloud-Huri, and during her presentation she raised a lot of questions related to teaching and learning online and challenges involved when you teach online. Some questions related to online education. She asked how much more or less effort an educator has to undertake for making online teaching a success. What the global learning community think about the challenges involved in online teaching and learning. During the webinar, it was a lot of discussions between participants, and in these discussions Nelly actually gave a very good phrase, provided very good phrase. Changes give us options to change. That is actually from chatting room. Some of thoughts that went through my mind were about new technology which impact on education rapidly and create really new challenges for instructor and for learners in learning online. All of them must be considered to adapt to transforming education. Parminda stated in her webinar that teachers' role is very important as a facilitator who can control, inform, and gauge students in learning process. And next slides will present just a summary and outcomes of what I heard, read, and saw. The 8th annual virtual conference, organized by Nelly Dodge, gathered teachers from all around the globe and demonstrated that teachers, in order to learn how to use online technology, have to be a part of community where they can share and learn how to use technology for teaching and learning. This community created Dr. Nelly and organized on different Moodle websites. Moodle for Teachers, that is site where this conference is hosted. These people shared their knowledge, experience, and skills. Questions during the webinars. It was a lot of questions which I summarized in this table. All webinars were very relevant to me as a teacher and learner. This is new ideas inspired by presentations. New ideas are always present challenges, and solutions always require time to solve them. Questions to research as a result of the event. As a result of Nelly's opening and closing ceremonies, and during the webinars, we communicated with each other, and Nelly facilitated our communication. I learned a lot of different online tools such as Flipgrid, Padlet, new Moodle plugins such as Poodle, Badges, and which I started to use in my Moodle courses. And finally, encouraging the participants to reflect on 10 webinars, Nelly actually set up for us an international project where participants are connected with presenters, with each other, and with Nelly as a facilitator and instructor. Nelly designed for us a constructivism web-based learning environment, Moodle for Teachers, on 3 perspectives: pedagogical, social, and technological. Thank you very much, Nelly, for your great effort to keep going events like this. And I invite to view recording of this conference and write reflections to get a certificate of participation. And also, this is a place to share and learn about online learning and teaching, instructional and learning design using LMS Moodle, and develop your skills in speaking, learning, and teaching. Thank you very much.